La 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 la, wait till I get my money right.
Strap in, kids, because class is in session. We got a good one for you today on Casper. We're going to have to use the market cap in order to do that. I'm going to show you why real quick. Let's go back to May of 2021. The price chart right here on the left, down 96.5%. If I roll over to that same point in time here on the market cap is only down 24%. So we know that something's going on with the tokenomics, some kind of inflation, tokens being released, rewards. I don't know. I don't own the coin, right? But what we do know is we have to use the market cap. So we're going to take some data from here. We'll extrapolate it over to the USD price chart, and we're going to figure out exactly what our price targets are going to be here for Casper on waves 3, 4, and 5. So what we're looking at right now is it's different on the price chart than it is here, right? Right here, what we're talking about is we've had, oh, come on, I got to use two different softwares. We have wave 1 and wave 2, and right now we're talking about 3, 4, and 5. Where do we see those waves going? All right. Before I hop into that, guys, real quick, join the Quantum Circle, 2 daily macro videos, entries, exit strategy, private Discord, and a whole lot more. Link to that is in the bio. I'm telling you guys, on the entries and exits alone, you're making that money back every month. It's a no-brainer. Anyone in that group would tell you the same thing. So check that out. All right, Casper. What we're noticing here, right, is we have there's a couple different ways we can measure it. First things first, what it looks like we're creating, oops, I gotta use this one. What it looks like we're creating here is a macro A, B, C. All right, I'm gonna make that blue. So right now, working on the C wave, again, waves 3, 4, and 5. There's a couple ways to measure that move out. First way to measure it out, I keep doing that. First way to measure it out is we know the C wave has to at least be the length of the A wave. That wave right there on the market cap chart looks to be about 1,700%. All right, and that would be from the low down here. We pull that. Where's 1,700%? Right up here. Gets us up to, what is that? 1.36 billion, I would guess. This is like a $100 million market cap right now, 142 million. So we'll get us up into the billions, about at 18x from here. So what, close to 2? Is that what we said? Where are we at? Yeah, 1.4 bill. So what we need to do now is that's one way to look at it. We see that that gets us up here. We also see it gets us pretty close to this upper trend line, right? That we hit on this top and this top. Pretty close right here on an ABC, all right? So let's keep that in mind. Another thing we want to do is we want to check out what extensions would be on this market cap. So the way to do that is using fibs. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to look at this first drop here, going back to the inception, and we can see it closed out that market cap, right? Pretty close, too, to the 4236 on an extension of this first drop, all right? So that A wave, cool. I want to take a look at this B wave now. Let's see if we can close this out or where that takes us and if we have any confluence going on. Well, automatically I'm seeing confluence, right up here, right? We were talking about how the minimum measured move of a C wave, right, was literally like right at this level that we just picked out, okay? And pretty close to that upper trend line. If you extended that out a while, it would hit it. I don't think we have that much time, but just showing you guys what's plausible here. All right. I'm going to overlap that with this wave 1 to 2 drawdown here to see what kind of confluence we get if we got a pop. Sure enough, the 4236 of this first and second wave here gets us right up into this same level, guys, and it smacks right here on that upper trend line again. Like you could see it coming up into this area too here. That would put us out in November, December. Okay. Not too worried about time, just saying, if it were to hit it based on time, that's what we would be looking at. So there's a lot of signs pointing me up into this area right here, right around that 1618. All right, right up in this area here. Okay. I will say that there is a scenario where this thing could keep going and we could start seeing upper targets like that. But my base case for the time being here on Casper is us getting up to that 1618 area right there. and I showed you a couple different reasons why. So what we want to do then is figure out, all right, well, what will waves 3 and 4 look like if wave 5 is getting us up here? Typically, we'll take out this first wave. It already came up and wicked it a while ago. There was a crazy day for Casper. That's one of the things with these lower liquidity coins. It doesn't take as much money to get it moving, and that's why we can't invalidate that move, but it's also not my highest probability play. We want to make sure we're conservative. If we take these out sooner than anticipated, great. We can talk about further targets, and I will keep you guys in the loop. All right, so typically we'll come up above that and then come back to back test that or this zone. You see the 1618 there. On a wave 4, you're typically looking at like a 35 to 50% drawdown. On the smaller cap stuff like Casper, closer to the 50% mark. This last high is only 30%. See the 786 there at 40%. And you can even get deep enough here to the 618 down here where we're closer to that 50% mark. So for the time being, that's where we're going to go, right? It technically dips below that first wave, but that's okay. It's not a problem. Catch some support here on the 618 and then ride this off into glory for our 5th wave. How would that look? Well, our first wave would have been 330% of 4.3x. This third wave, 385%, nearly a 5x. And then this last wave from here all the way up to the top, 350%. So you have all 3 waves pretty similar in length, right? Getting us up to a full extension of that range, which also has confluence with this larger range. Where are we at? Right up here into this area. All right, so very close. I'm going to take this conservative measurement here, but we could go up a little bit higher right there, like 127 level. Pretty close. I like that green box area. So I'll tell you what, we'll split that difference where it intersects there, and that's going to be our conservative target right here for Casper. Now what I need to do is I need to take this same data and pull it over to the USD price chart. So from the current price level on wave 3, we're saying wave 3 is going to get up here, and we saw that from a different schematic. So 250% from the current price of Casper. 250%. And I'm telling you guys, if you're not doing the market cap stuff, you're gonna miss, and I'll show you why in a second. So we're seeing wave 3 pop up to about pretty close to 4 cents, 3.8 cents. We then said we had a drawdown here from wave 3 to 4. Oh, this one, sorry. I believe we said it was 48%. Yep, 48% on a drawdown. Get out of here. Let's make this guy bigger. 48% on a drawdown from that level. Where does that take us? About 2 cents flat. Nice even number. So the 2 cent level, drop back down to that. And then we go into our last wave here from there. Up here about 365%. Where does that take us? 365. Damn girl, fine. Get low, get low. You 2000s babies get me. Pretty close up to 10 cents, like 9.5 cents, 10 cent level, okay? And look how that looks on the price chart. Right here, we have this back test. We had a breakdown. It back tested that exact level we're talking about, and then boom, dropped off. So what you're going to be looking at here, my friends, is it was like a 1, 2. We're talking about wave 3 to here, wave 4 to here, wave 5 to here. And that's how the pros do it. I know that was a ton of work, and of course TradingView wasn't going to give me both of these on the same chart, but that's how we're looking, guys. Run up to 3.8 cents, fall back to 2 cents, final blow off to 9.5 cents. Bam, that is Casper, the friendly ghost. Like I said, join the Quantum Circle, real-time trades, access to my portfolio, 2 macro videos every day, a Discord, and I teach you how to do TA just like me. Link to that is in the bio. Guys, I promise you the value for that is there. But if not, I just appreciate you being here. If you could follow, like, repost. I want to get this stuff out to as many people as I can before it's too late. We had a hell of a day today. Let's get this train going. Thank you guys for being here. Have a great Friday evening.